The Daily Telegraph published an article advising people how they could reclaim stamp duty. I've just read through it and they've missed out most of the important arguments that the average person may have to reclaim stamp duty, preferring to just stick with claiming stamp duty if you have bought an additional property, paid the 3% stamp duty surcharge, and then sold your residential home to make your additional purchase your designated property. So I'll cover that, and then I'll cover a couple of other issues, even though I have covered this in the past. So if you have bought an additional property within the last 3 or 4 years, it's actually 3, but I'll explain why I've said 3 or 4 in a moment, and you have paid an additional 3% stamp duty, you may have rented the property out, had problems, changed your mind, maybe got cold feet because of the Renters Reform Act, whatever the case may be, and subsequently you have sold your residential property and moved into the additional property, you do have a right to reclaim the 3% stamp duty surcharge within 3 years. However, there is an exception where if you can demonstrate that the sale of your property or moving to the additional property was impacted by COVID, then you have an argument to reclaim even though it has been more than 3 years because of these particular circumstances. Therefore, even if you bought a property in 2018, that might be pushing it, but it's still possible, 2019 onwards, and you subsequently then moved on and sold your own home, then you do have a case to reclaim the additional 3% stamp duty. After all, it's your money. Why shouldn't you reclaim it? The other methods that you could use to reclaim stamp duty is if it were calculated incorrectly. However, you would require documented evidence because Mr. Taxman doesn't like to be out of pocket, and normally they will argue their case. So if you bought an additional property and you paid the additional 3% stamp duty, but on the day of completion, if that property was not fit for habitation, then it is exempt from the stamp duty surcharge and you have a case to reclaim that. You would need to provide evidence, and unfit for use as a minimum. To be suitable to live in, it must have running water, it must have a bath or shower, and it must have at least a sink with running water in the kitchen on top of everything else. So if that could apply to you and you have evidence of it, then get advice and consider reclaiming. Most of these places tell you or direct you to contact a solicitor to do this for you. However, depending on how much you are going to reclaim, you could end up paying a big part of it in legal fees, and there isn't really any case law required to make this claim. You simply make a clear and verifiable claim with your evidence, whatever evidence that may be. It could be a surveyor's report, it could be photographic evidence, it could be a statement from the estate agent, it could be a statement from the sellers, and you can submit that claim online, or if you go to the government.gov website, you can find their address and send it to them and make your claim in writing. Additionally, another avenue for reclaiming stamp duty is if the property that you bought came under multiple dwellings relief. That is, that if the property were 2 different dwellings, if it were a shop with a flat above, there are several variations for this, and quite a few people have unnecessarily paid stamp duty at a higher rate when they could have been charged stamp duty at the lower multiple relief dwelling rate. So check that, and once again, it is about making a succinct and verifiable argument and forwarding it to the Inland Revenue. Unfortunately, quite a few people who I have come across have not even been advised of this by their solicitors. So it is possible to conduct your own research. If you need any help with this, by all means, feel free to get in touch. And on that note, I don't normally take the opportunity to boast in any way, shape or form, but I feel it's justified in this case because it's more a matter of pride and actually delight that I have been able to help people. From the time that I made the video about multiple dwellings relief, from the people who have contacted me and later replied back to me to confirm that they have actually managed to get a refund from HMRC, the verified amount reclaimed by people who have watched my video and been in touch is over £98,000 now and rising. That's what's verified. I believe it's a fair bit more, but I'm only going by the actual figures that have been verified. So to those of you who have successfully managed to reclaim your stamp duty, well done. I'm really, really happy for you. As I said, it's your money. The Inland Revenue have absolutely no conscience in taking money that they shouldn't be taking from people unnecessarily, and therefore you should have no reservations about claiming back what is rightfully yours. Thank you very much. I hope this video has helped, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.